Without a clear vision and a clear understanding of where you're going, the uncertainty is going to consume you and the anxiety is going to rip you apart. Nobody spends enough time planning out where they want to go. And I don't mean like have a detailed plan. I mean like just who you are going to be as a person.
Constructing your life is about much more than just building a bank account. Each week, join mindset coach Austin Linney as he interviews guests who are constructing their dream lives and impacting the world around them on a daily basis. If you're an entrepreneur or wanting to start a business, or you just want to hear motivating stories of how others have overcome the odds, you are in the right place. And now for your host, Austin Linney.
Guys, welcome to Construct Your Life. We got an Austin Linney solo episode. You know, the podcast for me is a big reflection point. It's also cool to interview other people and watch how they grow and see what they do and kind of understand. You're getting a kind of marker, right? And I look back at some of the first episodes, and I had a shaved head. It was during COVID. And I'm like, who's that guy? He didn't know what he was doing. And almost 700 episodes later, you learn things. But what I'm going to focus on today is like things that I learned from this year for business and personal life, and kind of things that have struck me, that have been lessons that kind of stuck with me through hardships or winning or all the above. And kind of the first kind of frame of reference is like, and it's so true, and you could say this in construction or just life, everything takes longer than you think it will. If you can just say that to yourself, then you can realize that nothing's going to happen on the timeline that you want it to. With AI and Netflix and everything that happens so quick, we expect things to happen like that. And, frankly, they just don't. Good things take long time and great things take longer. And it's not even about patience. It's about just understanding that for something to have roots, for something to mature, it takes time. You have to water that seed. For you to change your health or change your mindset or change a habit, those kind of areas in life take a really long time to understand. It's not a short-term fix. And so everything takes longer than you think it does. Number one. Without a clear vision and a clear understanding of where you're going, the uncertainty is going to consume you and the anxiety is going to rip you apart. Nobody spends enough time planning out where they want to go. And I don't mean like have a detailed plan. I mean like just who you are going to be as a person, who it is that you're looking to become. What kind of business are you building, and what is it that you're seeking? When you have this kind of understanding of where your vision is and what you're creating, you can kind of step into those waters a little more comfortably. And so take some time to understand it is what you want out of life. Build the lifestyle first. What is it that I want? How do I want to spend my days? This is so important because then it'll allow you to say no to things that don't align with that, instead of being forced into things that you don't want to be doing in the first place. And then you wake up 6 months later and you're like, why am I doing this? It's super important. Your ego and your need for credit in a situation will hinder everything that you want. One of my favorite quotes is, you will be as successful on the basis that you don't need credit for anything. As you scale up and you have 40 plus employees and everything, you have to be so comfortable with letting other people take credit and letting them grow and letting them kind of mold into this understanding, and taking your wins and their wins, right? Scale makes you become more, makes you become a different owner, a different CEO. Those items don't allow you to have your hands on everything and be control. And so your need for credit or your need for a data boy is only going to hinder the growth of your business. When the data boys and the understanding and the love needs to be given to your employees so they can grow into better people. And then you create self-sufficient personal responsibility machines that can go do it and handle solutions, right? That's number one. So that's so important. Here's another lesson. I am capable of even more than I even imagined. David Goggins says that we're really, when we're at our edge, we're really only about 40% of the way through. That's the truth. That's the truth. When we get focused and we breathe and we dig in and we create just an unstoppable mentality, we can create and manifest whatever we want. And during the buying of this business and the 2 years that preceded, I really found out what I was capable of. I found out that I was capable of making things happen when nothing was possible. I was capable of trusting myself, understanding, listening to my gut more than I thought. I could work harder than I thought. I could believe harder than I thought. I think that we're only really using at max 20 to 30% of our abilities. You, as I'm saying this, who's listening to this, are far more capable of more things than you could even imagine. And I think that the true lessons in life are to test those edges and those abilities and push the narrative as farther. And it's on those outside edges that you find out more about yourself. You find out more, long distance endurance runners, like they run away like all their shit. And I'm like, how do you do that? And they're like, we just keep going, just one foot in front of the other. That's the mentality to have, is to push past those areas where you feel comfortable and know that you don't have to stop. You could just keep going and you can create ability and capability far past than you would even imagine. If you're not laughing, you're not winning. And what I mean by that is you can't be so serious all the time, and it can't be all business. It just can't. You're going to drive yourself crazy, and I am guilty of it because, I was an alcoholic for so long. I feel like I'm playing catch up at 41 years old. And what I realize is, like, in the midst of what I'm doing is like the fun stuff. Like the getting the stuff is not really whatever. That doesn't really matter. It's whatever. It's over there. But when you do great projects with great people, you got to live your life. You got to have a little fun. You got to make sure that you get out in nature. You got to make sure that you stop and have dinner with your friends and laugh and talk about life and the ridiculousness of it. You got to do those things. It's like exercising a muscle that's going to get stronger. The more you do that, the more you're going to show up in the other aspects of what you want to do, more content, more fulfilled, all that stuff. So it's super important. The next lesson is be careful that you're not giving power to others that don't deserve it. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of times in life, especially in business, when we know our gut is just screaming at us. It's just screaming at us. Like, don't do this, say something, blah, blah. And we say, you know what, I really don't want to rock the boat. I really don't want to, I really don't want to do this and blah, 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 blah. And then you look back 6 months later, a year later, and you're like, damn it. I knew it. I knew it. And we give our power to other people because we put them up on a pedestal and we don't allow ourselves to trust ourselves. We don't allow ourselves to know what we know. You know. Something doesn't feel right. You got to walk away. You need to understand that there are another opportunity right around the corner. And when you get in a situation that you can't get out of, it's going to be a bad situation down the line. So super important. And kind of the last lesson that I learned for the year is that I, along with everybody else, wants to be seen. I want to be heard. I want to be loved. At the core of everything, all the coaching clients I've coached, all the podcast guests I've hosted, all the interviews I've been on and done, and in all the businesses that I've created, that everybody involved just wants to be seen. That's what we want. And when you understand that everybody wants to be seen and you tell people how they could see you, now we bring down the curtain. Now we allow ourselves to give what we need to continue to go forward. We allow ourselves to break down the walls and be open and vulnerable in order for us to grow as a person and grow as a unit, grow as a family, grow as a business, grow as an ownership, grow as a person. So don't lie and say that it's something else. Well, I'm a drinker. It's just what I do. No, you want to be loved and seen. Well, I need to go make all this money so I can be happy. No, you just want to be loved and seen. Oh, well, I can't find the right spouse. I can't find anybody. No, you just want to be loved and seen. It's the essence to everything. It is the thing. You want to be loved and you want to be seen. The moment that you admit it is the moment that you can move past it and you can invite it into your life. Well, guys, those are the lessons for me this year. All types of different stuff. This is me reflecting on what I've learned from this year. I hope you really enjoyed it. And thank you so much for always listening and tuning in and sharing it with your friends. See you next time. Guys, let me take a minute to tell you about my buddies over at Lead Hub, Ben and Aaron, the best humans I know. Not only are they amazing at marketing for trade companies, but Ben started his HVAC company in his garage, sold it for multi-million dollars. So when this guy talks, I listen. When we took over Dietz Mechanical, we had 22 reviews in 22 years. In 7 short months, we went from 22 reviews to 107. We went from a 4.2 to a 4.7. We tripled our Facebook presence and we tripled our calls. If you're an HVAC, plumbing, electric, landscaping company, and you're looking for a no BS approach to marketing, you're looking for people who have done it before, you got to go to leadhub.net